Welcome to Life on the Wabash, your home for the lighter, brighter, happier side of your community. We'll cover places to go, events to explore, recipes to try, and information that makes your life easier or more fun. Let's dive in.
Good morning and welcome to Life on the Wabash. I'm Ellie Fidelli.
And I'm Lindsay Veramis. We're glad to have you with us. As the weather warms, at least we hope, March is an ideal time to explore Greater Lafayette and its surroundings.
We want you to see your community through fresh eyes. This show will connect you with what's new and notable, area businesses, causes, and events that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, it's also an educational tool where Boilermakers like Ellie are learning TV production skills in as hands-on a setting as it gets.
But enough about us. Coming up on today's show, splashing your way into health. We're headed to the pool to check out a fresh way to energize your workout routine. And we catch up with a Purdue athlete to learn why swimming is both effective and easy for beginners.
He beat cancer not once but twice. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. A survivor shares what you need to know about prevention.
Award season is in full swing. We're breaking down this year's top nominees, looking back at the Academy's 97 years of Hollywood history.
Looking for the perfect gift with a story behind it? At Reclaimed Hope, every upcycled treasure supports women in need while turning secondhand finds into new beginnings.
The top auto trends for 2025, knowledge you need if you're in the market for a new car.
Plus a fun way to blow off steam, how axe throwing has become the new bowling.
Life on the Wabash starts now.
Looking for a fun indoor activity to escape the cold? The Spinning Axe in Lafayette is the perfect spot to spend an evening with your friends while testing your axe throwing skills. Whether you're here for a night out or just looking to try something new, this place has you covered. Let's check it out. I'm here with Barbara, one of the co-owners of the Spinning Axe. Thank you so much for having us. So I just want to ask, how did the Spinning Axe get started?
We discovered axe throwing down in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we just loved the idea and the concept, and it's something we wanted to bring to the Lafayette community.
That's really fun. What made you think to come to Lafayette specifically?
We wanted to be downtown. The downtown Lafayette is really growing and becoming a really awesome place to be, and so we just wanted to contribute to that and be part of the downtown.
It definitely does gain a lot of attraction, and it is such a unique way to pass the time. What do you think draws people to axe throwing?
I think there's lots of reasons. It's something you can do socially with friends, family. It's a little bit taboo, I guess. People get excited about throwing an axe because you're brought up and you're taught not to throw sharp things. And so then this, kind of gives people an opportunity to do something that you don't get to do every day.
It definitely is a different way to pass the time and a very unique. I've been here, I've had fun throwing something that I haven't been thrown in the past, so it definitely is exhilarating. And then I also see you guys have a bar in the back and a menu with some very special drinks here. One is called the Axe Murderer. Do you want to go over what that is?
It's kind of similar to a Long Island iced tea, but it has other ingredients in it and kind of tastes like Hawaiian punch, and it's fun when we drip the grenadine in and it kind of looks like blood dripping down through, so we like to have fun with it.
That sounds delicious. Well, I can't wait to give axe throwing a try. Let's go over some safety tips and see how fun we can have. I'm here with Jason, hello.
Hi.
And he is going to teach us how to safely throw an axe. So if you want to go over the steps for us.
All right, so basically rule number one, when you are not using the axe, send it back in the blocks. It's the safest thing we can do. But when we are using them, just be aware of what's going on around you in the space. Watch out for others that are in your group and people that may not be in your group as well. When we throw the axe, hold it nice and tight. One hand over the other for two-handed throwing. You bring the axe straight back. This is why you need to be aware of your surroundings when you throw. So come back and come straight back forward with it. So you're gonna release about eye level. The axe is gonna spin just one time.
Well, thank you for going over the technique. Now I'm gonna see if I can give it a try and get a bullseye.
All right, let's go.
Close enough. Well, there you have it. The spinning axe is definitely something for everyone to try. Make sure to bring your friends and family and check it out. Well, I have some practice to do, so I'll catch you guys later.
As we turn the calendar to March, a month-long push for awareness and prevention begins. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S. Just last year, 53,000 people died from the disease. It's a sobering statistic, especially if we consider many cases are preventable. Joining me now to talk more about this awareness effort is Michael Dudley, a two-time cancer survivor and a man living his life to the fullest. Welcome, Michael. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here with you.
For a lot of people, cancer is something that's far off. We're aware of it, but we often have the tendency to think it can't happen to us. Walk us through your headspace when you were first diagnosed. Was it even on the radar?
Wow, no, it was not. In fact, I was training for my very first triathlon, swim, bike, run.
Wow.
And I was super excited about my first race. And I just started to feel some abnormalities. And I just sensed that it was time to go in for a diagnosis, and I'm glad that I did. I've always been very athletic, very active, and this one really caught me by surprise.
You've talked before about it's really important to know your personal risk factors. What would you recommend people pay attention to?
Yeah, first and foremost, know your personal health journey, but more importantly, know your family history, both on your mother as well as your father's side. In my case, both my mother and father's side had experiences with cancer. That heightened my awareness and really kind of refined my focus on my own personal health and wellness journey.
Did that early screening and that early catch make a difference in your case?
It does. It did, and I'm glad that I did my follow-up because early detection, early intervention is crucial. It's critical to having a successful outcome. And I'm very fortunate. I realize that there are many who perhaps did not have a good outcome, but I believe that early detection, early intervention, and have the right team of doctors is key to, again, a very positive outcome.
Another thing to think about with colorectal cancer is the fact that it doesn't impact communities the same. There are some that are disproportionately impacted. What do you think is most important for us to be aware of?
Yeah, when you think of healthcare disparity, some of it almost impacts the African American community disproportionately, particularly African American men who have historically over-indexed in the area of a variety of cancers, but particularly colon cancer and prostate cancer. And it really is in the best interest of African American men to prepare to have their colonoscopy as early as possible. Some have said by the age of 50. That's been lowered over the recent years because of the number of African American men that over-index.
Now, there could be somebody watching right now that has just received that diagnosis. You've been in their shoes. What's your advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, everyone responds differently. But for me, I had really a sense of peace because of my confidence in God. And so my faith, my family, and my friends were very important part of my journey and continue to be a part of my journey. But I had this sense of confidence that everything was going to be all right. And then I just had a positive mindset, right? A mindset that says there's future after this diagnosis. And that's really driven me far beyond my diagnosis and into my future.
One thing I read that you've mentioned in the past is that cancer doesn't define you, it redefined you. That's really powerful.
Well, thank you much. No, that is a fact because so many people who have a cancer diagnosis become overwhelmed and it really changes their focus and perspective of life. For me, it really refined my life, it refined my vision of life as well as my focus. And one of the things that I really reset my focus on was being an advocate in this cancer space and really being out there in the community at large and really telling the story about early detection, early intervention, and how important it is to really be aware of your own body and to be able to discern whether or not it's important to get that diagnosis from the right doctors.
And you're eager to connect with the community.
Absolutely. I mean, I make myself available to this entire community, whether or not it's a hospital or a medical clinic, perhaps a church or sorority, fraternity. I make myself available to the community at large.
Fantastic. Well, we certainly appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
For more information about risk factors and screening, you can head to the website listed on your screen.
It's common for New Year's resolutions to slip. Whether it's improving your diet or sticking to a workout routine, things can slip. But if you've been thinking about changing up your workout routine, the Purdue COEX Aquatic Center might have something in it for you.
Purdue's state-of-the-art aquatic center, which is home to the varsity swim and dive teams, also offers free swim access. I sat down with the person behind it all. Now, let's get ready to dive in.
Hi everyone, I'm here with David Frazier, the Associate Director of Aquatics here at the Morgan J. Burke Aquatic Center at Purdue University. So David, a lot of people don't necessarily think of swimming when it comes to exercise. What does the COREC have to offer for those looking to branch out and try something new?
Well, we have recreational swimming times every day of the week and on the weekends. There are various times. We have a 3-hour block in the morning, a 3-hour block over the lunch hour, and then a 5-hour block after 5 p.m. To clarify that, it is a Purdue student or a faculty and staff member that has a membership with the COREC.
Great. So you've been here for over 25 years now, and you've seen a lot change, not only in the Aquatic Center, but with the COREC as well. What would you say is the one thing that stays the same, that keeps bringing people back?
Good question. I think it's the people. I think the staff that we have, the students that we have, that provide that welcoming attitude and just that feeling of sense of belonging and answering questions and making people feel comfortable when they come here. They know where to go and swim. They know where to go and get equipment. So that equipment can be kickboards or pool buoys, or we have jog belts, and we have also some fitness dumbbells that they use in the water, and those are on the pool deck.
Great. So we actually saw a group of women using the fitness dumbbells. Are they an organized group or just a group of friends coming into exercise?
There is a class. There's a deep water fitness class that occurs in the dive pool. Now, I'd also like to mention that not only with the aquatic center that we have here, we have the recreational pool that's in the recreational sports center. That pool is open from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. during the week, and it provides an opportunity for people to not only swim laps, but they can shoot baskets or they can just relax in the spa.
Now, let's learn about the health benefits of swimming from a local expert and how this full body workout can help you achieve your fitness goals.
I'm here with Connor McCarthy, a senior on the Purdue men's swim and dive team, where he swims the 50, 100, and 200 freestyle along with the corresponding relay events. Connor, I'm so excited to be sitting down with you today.
Of course, thank you very much for having me.
So you've been swimming at the D1 level for 4 years now, along with swimming your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is one of the key benefits to your health that you've seen in swimming?
Key benefits physically to my health would have to be just general fitness and cardio. It's just a great exercise. It's not too tough on your joints. It's low impact. And mentally, it's taught me a lot as well, mental resilience and just big on helping my workout, definitely.
Great. So we can see its overall benefit in your life, in your daily life. What would you say are some other key benefits that people don't see right away when they consider swimming?
Well, like any other exercise, you're not going to hop out and look like you've been swimming for 15 years. It's tough, and you'll feel the exercise. You'll definitely fall asleep a little easier that night after that tough workout. But as you go, you'll just have all the general benefits that you might have from a regular cardiovascular activity, but also in the upper body as well. But when you're swimming, you're using your arms, your shoulders, your lats. It's really a full body exercise.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. Let's jump in the pool and you can teach me something.
Wonderful. Sounds great. Let's do it.
Here, Ellie is going to show us some examples of good beginner exercises. First, we're going to start with freestyle, or front crawl, as it's sometimes called, with flutter kick on your stomach and alternating pulling with your arms. Next, we have backstroke, where you're flutter kicking on your back and alternating pulls with your arms. Third, we have breaststroke, where in your stomach, kicking almost like a frog and pulling with both your arms simultaneously in a circular motion. Finally, the most simple exercise is kicking with a board, where you hold the board in front of you and kick in whichever style you prefer.
After I thanked Connor for his lesson, we decided to put my training to the test. And it was safe to say, it was a neck and neck race. Now, for those of you looking to enhance your fitness routine, make sure to stop by the Morgan J. Burke Aquatic Center and take a dip in the pool.
The biggest night in Hollywood is just around the corner. The Oscars have been a celebration of the best in film for nearly a century, and this year's nominees are no exception.
Let's take a quick look at the 97 years of history of the Academy Awards before diving into this year's biggest nominations.
The Academy Awards, better known as the Oscars, are one of the most prestigious honors in Hollywood. The Oscars have been celebrating the best in film since 1929. But did you know that back then it was a private dinner party with only 270 guests and lasted a whole 15 minutes? Very minimal compared to today's hours-long broadcast viewed by millions worldwide. The Oscars were created by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to recognize outstanding achievements in filmmaking. Many think the statue's name is Oscar, but in fact it was the Academy's executive director who said the statue resembled her uncle Oscar. The nickname became so popular that by 1939, the Academy officially adopted it. At the start, there were only 12 categories, but fast forward nearly a century and the awards now span 23 categories, a testament to not only the Academy evolving, but filmmaking as a whole. In 1966, the ceremony was televised in color for the first time. There have been many historic moments since, like a streaker running across the stage as David Niven makes an introduction during the 46th Awards. Halle Berry making history as the first Black woman to win Best Actress in 2002.
Halle Berry in Monsters Ball.
This is the first Oscar for Halle Berry.
And of course, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in 2022 after referencing his wife, Jada Pinkett, as G.I. Jane.
Oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow!
But beyond the glitz and drama, the Oscars remains a celebration of storytelling and cinematic excellence. Now let's talk about some of this year's biggest nominees.
Now that we've looked at the history, let's talk about this year's biggest nominations. Leading the pack with 13 nominations is Emilia Perez, a Spanish-language, French-made musical crime drama that follows a Mexican cartel leader who vanishes only to reappear as a completely transformed person. With powerful performances led by a women ensemble, this film has a fresh take on storytelling. It's no surprise that it's one of the leading nominations. Next, we have The Brutalist and Wicked that are right behind with 10 nominations. The Brutalist is an emotional and visually stunning period drama that follows a Hungarian architect that struggles in post-war America. This is a must-watch for fans of deep, character-driven stories. On the other hand, we have the critically acclaimed Wicked that tells the backstory of the witches from The Wizard of Oz, pre-Dorothy era. This beloved Broadway musical turned to film follows the untold story of the witches' friendship. It's packed with magic, stunning visuals, and incredible performances from Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who will also be performing at the ceremony along with Doja Cat, Ray, and Queen Latifah. Lastly, A Complete Unknown comes in with 8 nominations, and for music lovers, this is the one to watch. The film dives into the early years of Bob Dylan's career, where Timothée Chalamet, who is up for Best Actor, brings the folk icon to life. This film is a deep dive into how Dylan not only rose to fame, but changed music forever. With so many incredible films in the running and Conan O'Brien hosting, this year's Academy Awards is shaping up to be a good one. Who will win?
Find out Sunday, March 2nd. The ceremony will be broadcasted on ABC and streamed on Hulu, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. Other networks that provide ABC are YouTube TV, AT&T TV, and Fubo TV. Enjoy!
I'm Abby Yule, and I'm here outside of Reclaimed Hope, a local secondhand thrift shop here in Lafayette, and I'm going to take you guys inside to learn a little bit more about their story. Here we are inside. So it's been 10 years since you originally opened Reclaimed Hope. What was your original inspiration behind the store?
Originally, we were trying to find ways to fund Vision of Hope, which is a women's residential ministry, and they help women with addictions, eating disorders, habits of self-harm, unplanned pregnancy, and so funding is always a challenge for a ministry. So I just kept thinking about how profitable garage sales were, and I've always been a garage sailor and a thrifter, and so we started very, very small, and we prayed and we asked God to help us start small so we could grow, and that's kind of how the idea was born.
So you partner with Vision of Hope. How much work would you say that the women in that community do here?
They really are a vital part of Reclaimed Hope. The women are actually at the house over on the east side of town, and they're doing what we call fundraising over there at the house. And they're making jewelry, they're using their gifts and abilities. Maybe they know how to paint or do watercolor or crochet. And so they make items and then they send them here to the shop. But we also have volunteers that come in and make items here at the shop as well.
Yes, and I also saw that they help check people out and maintain the store as well. Is that true?
Yes, volunteers can do anything here at the shop. It just depends on what they enjoy doing and what their skill level is.
I love that. So beside from homemade items, can you tell me a little bit more about where you source your other things?
A lot of them come from donations, but I also, with my love of thrifting, still continue to shop around and try to find really great items that we can upcycle. Some people call us recycling, but we're not recycling, we're upcycling. So we're finding items that are unused, unwanted, people are trying to get rid of them. A lot of times I'll wait at a garage sale and go at the very end of the day, and people are like, what are we gonna do with all this leftover stuff? And I'll say, hi, I'm from Reclaimed Hope, and they're happy to donate it because they know it's going to a great cause.
Perfect, I love that. So one of the many things that you guys create are called memorial beads. So what are they and what is the meaning behind them?
Yes, memorial beads are very special. They are made from an actual flower petal from a special occasion like Mother's Day, somebody's birthday, a wedding, even funeral flowers. So the flowers are dried, and then either volunteers, myself, or some of the ladies at Vision of Hope, we will actually make the flower petals into a bead with clay. And then that way that memory is preserved forever. They're not throwing away the flower. They're preserving it in a bracelet or a wind catcher, and it's a really, really special gift. A lot of times ladies will give memorial bead bracelets from their wedding to their bridesmaids.
I love that. Thank you so much. We're going to take a closer look at some of the things you have around your store. Perfect. I'm here with Diane, who is a volunteer at Reclaimed Hope. Can you tell me a little bit about why you choose to volunteer here?
Well, I moved down to Lafayette from LaPorte, Indiana, and so I thought, well, this is a good place for me to volunteer. I used to volunteer a lot up in LaPorte, and so I love it here.
Does it help to know that you're doing something good for the community by working here?
Yes, it makes me feel good. I'm retired, and my husband is deceased, and I have a lot of time on my hands, and so I like to volunteer.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm here with Joan Weil, who is a volunteer here at Reclaimed Hope 3 times a week. Joan, can you just tell me a little bit about why you choose to volunteer here?
Well, the first time I walked in this store, it was beautiful. And the owner of the store is a wonderful lady, and I love working with her. Sorry, I'm an emotional person. And it's just wonderful to be here. It brings joy to me to help other people.
Thank you so much.
I'm a people person, and I love people.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you're looking for the perfect gift or maybe an accessory or a little bit of decor, make sure to check out Reclaimed Hope. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 p.m.
If you're in the market for a new car or simply browsing, you may be curious where the industry is headed in 2025. We're checking in now with Nate Barrett, the president of Twin City Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. to get the lowdown on what's happening. Hey, Nate.
We're all curious of where it's going the next couple of years, but it's a great thing to bring up because we are in a different era. And starting off looking at used car values, I think it's still a great time to trade. Car dealers always say that, but it's particularly a moment where values have really stayed high. Even coming through the COVID period where they were extremely high, they're still really right up there because there's still a shortage out there, and there will be, of a lot of the vehicles that people want. A lot of these high trim level packages with leather, with moonroof. So I think it's a great time for the consumer, much as it is in real estate, right? Still, home values are up. Used car values are up, and I expect them to remain so for several years.
We're really keeping an eye on budget lately, and that brings us to another trend. There's a lot more interest right now in hybrids.
Yes, hybrids are growing. I think EV will fill a spot. I'm not sure in the short run that'll be as large as some folks thought it would be. I think hybrid helps with the range anxiety that some folks have about a fully electric. You have a little bit of the best of both worlds with the hybrid. I think in the case of Stellantis, our manufacturer, they'll continue to grow in that space. Probably across the board of all of our lineup will have a hybrid option.
The third trend to identify, we're talking about hybrids, EVs, of course, a lot of technology goes into those vehicles, and so continuing education is starting to play a role.
Yes, think of your car like your phone. It's always going to need software updates now, and we also manufacturer increasingly wants to communicate with you, the customer, through apps on your phone. So I think also the good news is whether it's YouTube or through the manufacturer, there's more videos and education out there than ever before.
And this goes to the techs as well. You need people that are trained very specifically on certain models, right?
Our technicians are constantly going to training, even the veteran technicians. It is not an era where a 20-year tech can just rest on their laurels and think that they know it all about cars. There's things changing every year, updates, software. It's a computer with wheels. And so that's a big, important space for us to keep them trained each year. It's very much a continuing ed environment.
And there is specifically something that Chariot is doing with regards to this.
So all of our stores participate. Our founder and CEO of the Chariot Automotive Group, Rex Gingrich, has really identified a national trend that we're short techs and more are retiring than are being added. And so not everyone wants to go to a Purdue or IU. Some folks are anxious to just get working with their hands, but this video game generation knows technology too. So Chariot Automotive Institute is down at our Academy store in Tipton. It's growing. Students can get enrolled there, learn how to become a mechanic, a technician with hands-on experience, both lab and in classroom.
So many exciting things happening in 2025. Thank you so much, Nate.
Thank you.
And of course, we have the information about the dealership right here on the screen if you'd like to come in and take a look at what they have to offer.
If you have a story that you'd like to see in our next episode of Life on the Wabash, send us an email, connect with us on Instagram, or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Your voice will help drive the show, and we're eager to hear from you. Here's a look at when you can find us next. Until then, we encourage you to explore more and have a happy Saturday.
Brought to you in partnership with Purdue University Brian Lamb School of Communication and NBC 16 Lafayette, a Star City TV station.